Hi Cheerios, my name is Cherita. I'm the most positive person you'll ever meet. I guarantee it.
And it's bubbly, 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 bubbly. We are singing to our love.
Y'all, my eye is twitching already. I'm not ready for this video. Okay, so this is my second time trying to record this video. This video is going to be all about International Summit and what I think about it. The reason why this is my second time trying to record it is because the first time I sounded like a blubbering. I don't even remember what I was saying, but, oh, I remember. So the reason why I couldn't finish recording the video is because I sounded like a blubbering idiot. Like, I sounded like I literally had no idea what I was talking about, and I probably will still sound like that because this whole idea of International Summit is so confusing and a little bit frustrating. So, if you're interested in this video, go ahead and keep watching. Before I get started, make sure you click subscribe for new content every Tuesday and Friday, and also do not forget to link up with me on my social media. All of that information will be down below in this in the description box. So let's get started. So a couple weeks ago on Facebook, I came across this thread, and a mom was basically asking, like, what is this International Summit? So a lot of people started giving like their pros and their cons and their weigh-ins, and this is what International Summit is, this is what International Summit is not, and this, that, and the other. And so I chimed in with like the little knowledge that I knew, but I realized it's way more confusing than it should be. And so I was like, you know what? Let me find out exactly what this is, and I'll just let people know. Or not know. Or I'll try. So what I did is I went to the Handy Dandy Summit website, and I printed out the frequently asked questions, and then I just tried to piece everything together about what International Summit is and what D1 Summit is. We know what D2 Summit is. If not, I'm pretty sure I have a video from like a year or two ago, shameless self-promo, that I will link down below. This, and I wish I knew when this came out, because all it says is, the first question was, why is the summit adding additional divisions? So this happened, I want to say, in the middle of the year. Like, I don't think this started at the very beginning of the season with all the other divisions. But I could be wrong, so if I'm wrong, let me know. I will be humble, and I will sit down. So, first question, why is the summit adding additional divisions? The summit is proud to be able to partner with our international all-star brands as well as other international event producers to be able to add IASF provisional divisions that will allow teams from all countries. This is not just the United States, this is not just Canada. From all countries to be able to end their season competing against the top teams from all over the globe. And then it tells you what international divisions will be added, so on and so forth. And who's eligible? Any team that competes and receives a bid in one of the divisions, the international divisions, to the summit at qualifying events. And then it says, you know, where can I get a bid? And you click on the link and it tells you where you can get these bids for International Summit. When will these additional divisions be competing? They will be competing May 3rd and May 4th at the Walt Disney World Resort. Now, what does this mean for the summit? Well, the summit, why did my finger get stuck? The summit competes May 5th and May 6th at Walt Disney World Resort. So International, not only do they have like their own new divisions, but they have their own separate days. Now I know what you're thinking. What does separate days have to do with anything, Cherita? Well, I'll tell you. What this means is teams can register as a D1, you know, like senior level 2. They can register as a senior level 2. If they get a bid to Summit, which is just Senior Level 1 D1 Summit, they compete at D1 Summit. But say they've already gotten their bid as a Senior 2 team. Well, then they can now go to a different competition and register as International Senior 2. As long as it's allowed and as long as they're giving out bids, they can still register as this International Senior 2. This also means they can compete at a competition as a Senior 2 and an International Senior 2 because those are two completely different divisions. So what's happening is they are competing twice as the same division, but different score sheets, which I will get to. Where is that one question? So the biggest question that really got my head all discombobulated was, are you allowed to have some teams compete at the International Summit at the D1 Summit? And this was the answer. There is no International Summit. Okay? These are simply additional divisions, therefore all of the rules for the summit regarding crossovers and such apply. So basically what they're saying is there's no International Summit, but there's a different score sheet for international teams, and you can compete as an international team and as a regular D1 team. Not only is that allowed, but what's happening is some of these event producers are pulling, once again, I understand it says there's no International Summit. However, D1 Summit and International Summit are being judged by two completely different score sheets. The Summit is being scored by using the varsity score sheet. International Summit is being scored by the IASF score sheet. So what's happening is teams are going to competitions and they're registering as international, senior 2, senior 3, junior 1, junior 5, I don't know. They're registering as these international teams, but scoring like 98s and 99s when they would normally probably score like a 95 with the varsity score sheet. So then what's happening is D1 teams are being, I guess, cheated out of a summit bid. And honestly, I don't think it's fair, because there are gyms and programs and teams who will register their team as international and in D1 or whatever, and say they get 4th or 5th place as regular D1, but then they get 1st place as international, even though they're competing against, you know, X amount of teams. But those scores just don't add up. So now they're taking away somebody's summit bid because they're pulling out of the same pool. Now, if all event producers said there's X amount of bids for D1 and there's X amount of bids for international, then that wouldn't be a problem. But it's not happening at every single competition. It's not happening. It's not happening with every single event producer. And once again, I don't like to take things away from people. However, there's a huge loophole and coaches are using that to their advantage. Coaches, gyms, directors, owners, whatever, people are taking full advantage of this loophole. But what it's really doing is it's cheating, and I use that term loosely, but it's cheating these teams, these D1 teams who are choosing not to go international because they know that that's kind of the easy way out. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is this international summit is a great idea. However, it needs to be separate from D1 summit. It needs to be separate from D2 summit, especially because they're using two different score sheets. And I want to say that, okay, do you guys remember like a couple months ago at the beginning of the season when USASF or IASF was like, we're changing all the rules, no more flipping baskets, no more twisting and tumbling, no more this, no more that. I want to say this may be around the time that they introduced this international summit, which is fine. Not mad at it. They're calling it provisional. Cool. I do this a lot. I'm sorry. Let me know if you know where that's from. Sarah Lynn, you cannot answer. I feel like they kind of just threw this out there on a whim and they didn't really think of everything that goes into it, especially when it comes, like Summit is one of the hardest, okay, Summit is the hardest event to get a bid for. Worlds isn't that hard, especially if you are a bid chaser, and I hate to use that, but it's easy to be a bid chaser when it comes to Worlds. It kind of is the same for Summit, but because there's so many event producers that do give out Summit bids, and then on the flip side, there's a lot of IEPs that are unable to give out Summit bids, that these teams know where to go, and they can look at the roster, they can look at the schedule and be like, oh, this team is going, we can probably beat them, so let's go ahead and register last minute or whatever. But Summit is so hard to get a bid, and the fact that USASF or Varsity or IASF is taking away from these D1 teams to give bids to this provisional. It's provisional. It's not even like set in stone. I understand. I love the fact that they're doing this. Do not get me wrong. I love this 100%. But it needs to be different. It needs to be different because it is different. And I kind of did a video about the varsity score sheet. I did like the tumbling portion of it, but I can talk about the IASF score sheet and how it differs from varsity and how it's easier to score high with that IASF scoring. Not taking anything away from people, but if you have an international team who scores a 99 and they do that same routine, but they score a 94 for varsity, there's no reason that their 99 routine should get a bid over, you know, like say another team on D1 had a 97. It's hard to get a 97 with this varsity score sheet because they decided to go international and they got a 99. There's no reason that they should take that bid away from this team that got a 97. Especially, and I cannot reiterate this enough. I cannot reiterate this enough. Especially when you are using two separate score sheets. That's literally comparing apples and oranges. And I know there are a lot of parents out there that are frustrated. I know there's a lot of athletes out there that are frustrated. And I'm not saying every event producer does this, because I have seen a few event producers, and I'll show you a picture right here. There have been event producers that have been like, okay, we're giving out X amount of D1 bids and X amount of international bids, but it was brought to my attention that some event producers, what they did is instead of adding more summit bids, they just kind of cut in half the bids that they gave out last year. So like say they gave out 12 summit bids last year. So what they did this year is they gave like 9 D1 summit bids and 3 international summit bids instead of keeping the 12 D1 summit bids and then giving like 6 international summit bids. Whatever. I know this is new and I'm not here to say it's terrible or whatever, but I just feel like it could have been more thought out, because you have to look at it from all angles, because there are a lot of upset people. So anyways, that is my video for today. I know it was all over the place and I apologize for that. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. And let me know what you guys think about International Summit in the comments below. Do not forget to share this video. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers by the Worlds that I will be attending. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a positive and love-filled day. Bye.